Hello.
Hi, Traveler. Welcome to 69 Faces of Rock. How are you today?
Nice. Hey, I'm doing good.
Introduce yourself and tell me what you do in a band.
I sing for Traveler. Traveler is a band from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But I'm the lone American in the band, but I sing for them since 2017, the first demo.
All right. So please tell me, when did Traveler originally form?
Well, I was rehearsing in Detroit at the Loft for a local show, and Matt from Traveler called me and told me he had three songs that he wanted to do a demo for, and he wanted me to sing on them. And I was like, you can't get anyone better than me, really? But then he said yes. Okay, then I was like, all right. And then we recorded a bunch of songs, and we've been having a great time ever since, and we want to keep having a great time as long as everyone has us. Yesterday Madison had us, and it was fantastic. So,
were you playing in any other bands before Traveler?
Many. I started in...
List them all.
Oh, no. It's too many. I started in Detroit, and we would try to play like the punk shows there, because the punk shows, a lot of the punks liked metal back then. And we would play covers, Repulsion, Discharge, Abscess, Slayer, some melodic metal too. And yeah, like from there, I did a Priest cover band for a while even, a lot of different things. But then after that we did Borrowed Time, which was just us making music the best we could and trying to figure it out and do stuff. And then after that, I left and made a lot of music in Canada, like lots of music in Canada. I was in maybe like 5 different bands, but Traveler by 2017 ended up being the band that I'm sticking with.
What drove you to Canada?
What drove me to Canada was Borrowed Time ended so badly that I felt like I had to flee the nation.
Okay. How did you cross that border?
Sketchy, in lots of ways, but it didn't start being a problem until 2016 when they really realized that I was bumming around the country and just doing music. They started to kind of get wise to it, and it became kind of difficult here and there, but I made mostly every show, and there was one show in Kamloops, which is a mountain town in BC that got messed up because they were like, no.
Were you the wanted man?
I don't know if I'm as wanted as Stephen Piercy, but I felt like a wanted man.
All right.
Yeah.
Nope. Were there posters with your avatar?
I feel like I'm just an avatar with like no actual human being behind it sometimes. So yes.
Let's get back to Traveler. What were your influences?
Our influences in Traveler are many. Death Dealer from Canada is a really big one. A lot of people don't know that, but we love Death Dealer. So if you don't know that name, seek it out and you'll have an amazing time. I know Mark knows that name, so Mark is the person interviewing me right now, and he knows Death Dealer. And there's also obviously Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, because that's the music of all time, the best. I don't care. Like, I don't know. I think Sound Barrier too. Sound Barrier is a little bit of an influence, like a little more obscure. We're going more obscure.
Very obscure.
I guess Death Dealer is obscure to some people, but in Canada, a lot of people know that. But yeah, like just very classic, very in your face, and we're just making the music that comes out of our hearts, that kind of thing.
How would you describe the scene in Calgary?
In Calgary?
Yeah.
Honestly, Calgary and all over Canada is excellent. Excellent. And it reminds me more of Europe than the US in lots of ways because of everyone's enthusiasm combined with the level of musicality and seriousness. In the States, people like to be more ironic and more funny and make more of a name for themselves, being like, silly with it, but also like dazzling people with something impressive, which is awesome. But like me, I'm more about being maybe a little more nerdy about it, like being a little more like super engulfed in literature and all kinds of imagery, and I try to convey all that in the songs.
So when you put all these influences together, what do you think came out?
These 2 records came out.
That's right,
and
we're going to get to them.
I'm very happy with both of them. This one, Matt Reese, our guitar player, wrote most of the lyrics and all of the songs. On this one, I wrote most of the lyrics, and I helped write one of the songs, After the Future. And that's what I really like about this band, is that we're starting to become very collaborative. Our 3rd album is going to have a lot more collaboration on it.
We'll get to it step by step. Why the name Traveler?
Okay. Here's something that happened. This was, we were called Starbreaker. So the reason why, like a lot of people ask us, like, why do you have a name that's the same as Judas Priest for one of your songs? Like, well, because it was called that, and the band was also called that. But the thing that happened was, I talked to Matt about it, and I'm like, hey, I think the singer of TNT already has a song called Starbreaker. So we messaged Tony Harnell, and he got back to us almost immediately. He's like, yes, I do have a band called Starbreaker. We're out on Frontiers Records. You should probably call your band something else because people might think it's the same band. And I was like, oh, shoot, okay. Well, if Tony Harnell's saying that, I guess we should go for something different. And then we thought about it, and we thought about the idea of going through wormholes and being at one with the universe and being an ethereal being, and we're like the Traveler. That makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
And especially since we're singing about an entity that has world-destructing powers, we figured it all worked out. And yeah, that's how we got the Traveler, was because of Tony Harnell. So thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first split album with Coronary in 2018.
Oh, that ruled. I'm so glad you know about that, because like Coronary, more people need to listen to them. They're badass. And yeah, Cruz Del Sur wanted to put out our demo and do it as a split with them. It's a sick split record. I still have a copy. I think they're like super rare now though, but like, yeah, Coronary rips. Fucking listen to them.
In 2019, your first full-length album, what can you tell me about the songwriting, the recording process? You want to show the record?
Absolutely, yeah. That is Matt, who composed all of the songs, and then he got together with Chad Vallier on drums, and then they worked out a bunch of the parts. Torian Shadlick from the band Hazard joined the band and then started doing solos on it, and then I did my vocals. Okay. And then after that, we got Dave Arnold on bass.
What can you tell me about the artwork? It looks very intriguing.
It's done by our boy, this guy Dylan, and he's from Calgary. And he is a like old school skate punk, old school like heavy thrash, loves Razor, loves Crust, is just a badass dude that does everything DIY. And he wanted to make artwork for us, and we've been working with him ever since. We're working with him on the third one as well.
Were you able to do any tour, any gigs for this record? How did you promote it?
We promoted it by, I mean, people asked us to play, which was really cool. We played Keep It True. Oliver asked us to play. And then we played all over the place. Bob asked us to play here at Reggies back in 2019, and that was a fantastic show. Keep It True and Legions were kind of back-to-back in a sort of way, even though it was a few weeks apart.
How did that album do overall?
I feel like it did really well, and I feel like I really liked that I was able to put out a record on a label that I love, because I remember buying Crescent Shield and like all the power metal Pharaoh that Cruz Del Sur was putting out in the 2000s, and to be a part of the label, it's a huge honor. So to have an album that like, you know, did well for them as well, and they want to have us get shows and like, you know, be around is it's very humbling for sure.
Also, probably at the end of this cycle, pandemic hit. How did you deal with that?
Me, I dealt really badly. I'm going to be candid. I dealt really badly. I went through lots of depressions. I gained a lot of weight. Still trying to get healthy again. Still trying to get in my right kind of place. But you know what? My band are amazing people, and they are being very patient with me. And they still all look very healthy and together. You know, they really worked hard to stay that way. And me, you know, depression kind of took a hold. But they've been amazing. Like we did 2 month-long tours this year. And they were so understanding of like, you know, my disposition. And, you know, we were able to kick ass at every show, I feel like.
But it probably wasn't so bad, because in 2020 you released your second record, Termination Shock.
Right before it happened, though.
Well, was it right before it happened?
Right before it happened.
Tell me about
actually,
that.
What's funny is we were supposed to tour on it in Europe, but it was released late. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it came out right as the pandemic was taking hold. So it feels like in ways like people might have forgotten about it because of that, and I understand that, but like I'm so proud of this record. Like this is the heavy metal record I've always wanted to make. And Matt, like I said, my band is amazing, and they're amazing people. So he was gracious enough to let me write the lyrics and write melodies and like help with one of the songs and structuring it. And it was like the most pleasure I've ever had composing an album. And the third one is feeling very much that way, even though the third one we're doing it differently. We took a lot of time during the pandemic. We're almost like, you know how Kiss would do a simple song, but they'd like work it so much that like it's absolutely picture perfect. That's what we're doing with this new one. It's like we've done maybe like 12 rounds of demos.
You mean you got Mutt Lang to produce it?
Yeah. Oh, Mutt Lang would be great. But Martin Birch would be really good too. Right? But you know, rest in peace. But I think that we're Martin Birching ourselves in a way, because we're just like, no, not good enough. Next demo. Like that's how we're approaching this new one. And I think we're just trying to like whip ourselves so much that like whatever comes out is like just like beyond what we thought.
Getting back to the second album, how would you say things progressed from the first album to the second musically?
Hugely, because we've got way more collaborative. Traveler, the first one, Matt wrote all the songs and almost all the lyrics, and it was his vision very much. And this one, we wanted to add to his vision. That's the idea. Instead of like being like, I want my thing, I want this thing. Like, no, we love this. We want to add to everything going on here. And I feel like Torian, our lead guitar player, has been blowing people away, and it's been going just the way we wanted.
Okay. Looks like you're playing some shows, some festivals. Tell me about that.
This year actually. We played lots of stuff. We played Hell's Heroes in Texas. We played Mad with Power yesterday in Madison, Wisconsin. And both fests, Christian Larson over at Hell's Heroes and Ty Christian, switch them up, right? Over in Madison. Amazing.
Looks like you had releases in 2018, 2019, 2020. You're not wasting time, so what's coming up next?
Our third album, and
you've been mentioning that third album throughout this interview.
I really want to, because like we've been like hammering away at it, and I'm almost just like, let's do it. But like I think they have the right kind of vision for it. We're really like we're not letting anything go. We're not settling for anything, you know.
And when do you anticipate that to be released?
I really want it to be released this year, but I think it's going to be released in 2023. But we do have a 2022 release coming out. We covered Diamond Head's The Prince, and it's on a compilation of Diamond Head covers, and it's all been approved and signed off by Brian Tatler himself. He actually said some very nice words about our cover, which had me in fanboy mode completely. But like, our cover of The Prince is maybe one of my favorite recordings I've ever done in my life. So that'll come out very soon.
Finally, what does playing music mean to you?
It's all about fostering the people around you and their talent, and it's also about getting to be around talented people. Getting to be around talented people has been one of the biggest privileges of my life. I've been around the best singers, the best guitar players, the best drummers, and I feel like it's the same way with my band, and it's just an incredible privilege, because I started as a fan who wanted to sing, and I started singing, and over the years lots of different things happened, but where I'm at right now and the people that I'm around, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So,
thank you.
Hell yeah, Mark. Thank you for the interview.